What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Appreciate you guys tuning in for another video. If you guys are new to the channel, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. We don't want you to miss out on any of the new videos coming. We're pumping out 3 videos a week right now, and really appreciate you guys always liking, commenting, tuning in to all the videos and supporting the channel. We really appreciate all that. So like I said, don't forget, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any future videos. So if you watched my June baits video, I gave you a few different baits for the month of June, and one of those was the spoon. So we're gonna bust out the spoon box. We're gonna dive into here and show you a few of my little secrets and a few of the spoons that I like to use when we get in this summer time of year. You know, we're out here in the middle of the lake. There's kind of an offshore point that comes out here. It's a perfect location to throw a spoon. And I'm gonna dive in, show you a few of the spoons I like to do, and then a few of the different retrieves that you can throw with a spoon. So if you guys are ready, let's jump in, open up the spoon box. All right, should we start at the top or the bottom? What should we do? Let's start at the top with the big guys. So this is, we got a bunch of different spoons in here. Man, look at that. What a mess. We'll start with this guy down here. This is probably the biggest spoon I have. So I have no hook on him because I think I stole the hook or it got dull. But this is the Ben Parker. So this is a Nichols Magnum spoon right here. And that's a big one. You can see he's been drug on the bottom and chewed up a little bit. You know, that's really just from hitting the rocks and the shell. It kind of gets marked up like that. But there's a few teeth marks on there as well. I caught a few on that big guy. But that's definitely one of the main spoons that I throw, is that big Nichols Magnum spoon. So there's a few different options. I think there's a Magnum, there's a Mini Mag. I really don't know all the models. They've come out with so many different models, but I really like throwing that one. And then the Mini Mag, which is just a little bit smaller, like this guy here. So these are really the two bigger size spoons that I like to throw. And basically this big spoon is just imitating a big dying shad that's kind of fluttering its way down to the bottom. And as you can see out here in the sun, that thing really flashes well. And that's really what triggers those fish as this big hunk of metal is sinking. After you snap it or on that initial fall, is that big flash in the water. It triggers fish to come a long way and eat this bait. So again, this is a bait that I like to throw, you know, about mid-morning to afternoon once that sun gets up like we have here today, and it can really flash down there in the water. So I believe this one's the Mini Mag and this one is the Magnum. These are the two of the bigger spoons I like to throw. The other option I like to throw on the big spoons, if we can get them untangled here. So there's another regular Magnum, is this guy right here. And this has kind of been a secret that guys haven't really talked about. And this one is called the Dixie Jet spoon. And what makes him unique, he's a little bit fatter, so I like that little bit wider profile just because it helps him flutter more on the way down. But really, the main difference is it's got 2 treble hooks on the side here. So most spoons just have this one treble hook down here, but this one has these 2 on the side, and that really helps you catch more of those fish, just kind of nip at it. Or, you know, if you hook him on this one and he tries to throw the bait, he may catch one of these while he's trying to throw it. So it's just more added options to help land those fish. That's really the main thing that I like about these side treble hooks. Now, it's also a double-edged sword, so this is going to catch anything on the bottom or any brush piles that you get close to. So, you know, it's a double-edged sword as far as getting snagged, but I prefer to have the added security of helping you land those fish. So this one is the Dixie Jet. I don't know if there's a model name on these, but I really like throwing these. You know, I caught some fish on these last year in the Gunnersville tournament we had. Now we got a mess with all these treble hooks together. Jeez. Anyway, the Dixie Jet is a great option. Now this is still a pretty big profile, like I said, so you're targeting those bigger fish with this bait. But this is gonna be for those fish that are feeding on those bigger shad. So you can't really throw this somewhere where they're just feeding on those little tiny shad. You know, you need those big gizzard shad or big giant threadfin around for them to be feeding on, for this to look somewhat natural in there. All right, moving down the list. Oh, okay, here we go. We got actually a smaller Dixie jet. So I guess there is a couple different sizes. I forgot about these. So this is a little bit smaller size in the Dixie jet. I don't think I've thrown this one a whole lot. I've typically went with the bigger size, but I picked up a few of these just to give it a shot. And that's really the second option I have for spoons. So I got like the big section up top here, and then we get down here into this section, and this is more of your like 5-inch style spoon. I think this one is the Nichols, I think it's the Lake Fork model right here. And all of these spoons are available at Fish USA, by the way, but this is a little bit smaller profile. So, you know, you could catch really any size of fish on this spoon right here. And it is, you know, it takes a little bit longer to get to the bottom. So typically I would throw this if I'm fishing a little bit shallower or not quite around as big a fish. You know, if you're out on the Tennessee River fishing for those big ones, I really like going with the Magnum spoon, but always a good option to have a little bit smaller style spoon like this one right here. And then we can drop it down even further. I got a little bit smaller guys, but to be honest, I don't really mess with these guys too much. It's just a little bit too small for my type of spoon fishing, but we have them here just in case the situation arises and we need those. So another cool thing that I've got here in my spoon box is the Trocar stinger hook. So this right here is a stinger hook that's designed to go on the top of your spoon. So, you know, you've seen the Dixie jet that has the treble hooks on the side. Well, a lot of guys like to add a stinger style treble hook just like this to the top of their spoon. So let's grab one of these right here. And basically you take this, you run the loop through the big split ring, okay? And then you're gonna run that hook through the loop in the braided line that comes on this stinger hook. So you're gonna run him through there, and that just creates like a cinch knot once we pull him all the way down like that. And now see, he's cinched on there. And when you tie to that swivel, you got that extra added level of security in a stinger hook up there that, you know, you could catch a fish. If he eats this head first, now you have a hook up here that you can sting him with. So that's another cool little addition to the spoon box that I feel like you must have. They call it an assist hook, but it's basically like a stinger style hook for your spoons right there. So that's about it. That's all we got in here. We got a few feathered treble hooks that I've tied up or, you know, taken off of baits because the hooks get dulled up from dragging on the sand. I keep a little bit of, you know, extra hooks in there, but that is the spoon box right there. So now as far as retrieves on a spoon, you know, basically this is a bottom style bait. So this bait is relating to the bottom and you're snapping it up and letting it fall back to the bottom. So I'm throwing this bait on like a 7/6 heavy rod. You know, these are big, heavy baits, so you need a big rod to be able to throw them. I like throwing it on 20-pound fluorocarbon. You know, there's no need to throw it on light line. You know, the heavier line, the better, just because it's a big, heavy bait and you're going to be really wrenching on them when if you hook a fish on this bait. So as far as retrieves, so we got the setup. Retrieve, I'm going to cast this bait out and let it sink and flutter all the way to the bottom on basically a semi-slack line. I'm still waiting and looking for bites on that initial fall, but it's kind of a semi-slack line as he flutters down to the bottom. But once he gets to the bottom, that's when I start giving it pops. So I'm gonna give it a snap, wind up the slack, and let him just fall back to the bottom. And as he's falling, that's when you're really looking for those bites. You know, most of your bites are gonna come as that bait's falling back to the bottom. You're gonna feel a thump or feel that bite as that fish kind of reacts and hits it as it's fluttering back down. So it's really simple fishing. You basically, you know, snap it as many times as you want in the area where you think the fish are, wind it in and do it again. So it's a lot of work. It's heavy. You know, it's really rough on you. Like I said, I mean, you're jerking a really heavy bait and big heavy rod and line, but it's a great way to catch them, especially here in the summer. So hopefully you guys learned something from the spoon box video. Do me a favor, leave those likes and comments down below. Hit the subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll see you guys next time.